When you're closing, you want to remember at least these 4 objections, because these are 4 main objections that 95% of the people in the room have: time, fear, environment, and most importantly, money.
Darius Benders, the mentor behind 67-figure entrepreneurs, and he's about to reveal the one strategy they all used.
What's even crazy is that we were speaking to, one of like our homies and things like that. He was like, yo, he's stuck on 20K, but he was like, I don't see myself ever paying $30,000 for mentorship.
Yeah.
But then he's like, yo, he wants to get to that 6 figures a month.
Yeah, that's him. Because think about it. You want to become the type of person that can make $100,000 a month. That's $1.2 million a year. You're telling me, right? Watch this. You're like, God, I want to get to I want to be the top 1% nigga in the world.
A lot of times it's like you see a lot of celebrities and they got millions of followers, but they don't have any framework. They don't know how to monetize their audience.
I was 29 years old. I was living at my mom's house. I was dead broke, and then I went to making $30,000 a month within 3 months.
Was there ever a point where you was on webinars by yourself, like
hell yeah, bro?
You wanted to give up?
I didn't make $1 until my 5th webinar. Everything gets bigger when you get better. Yeah. And the greatest thing about webinars is it forces you to be a better entrepreneur.
All right, guys. So before we jump into the episode, just want to make a big announcement. We just launched the Motion and Success community, guys. So in this community, we're going to be giving you the game on content. Basically, how to grow your profile from 0 to 100K in under a year, as well as how to make money online, getting leads for your business, more customers, more money.
Also, for the Motion and Success podcast, one of the things that I realized, we're attracting a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, and people that are just starting up their business and they're looking to start growing their business and scaling. One of the key factors to growing a business is by borrowing capital. So now when you're going out to certain banks, there's certain things that you need to do to be able to get funding for your business, to be able to start, grow, and scale what you got going on and take things to the moon. So if you're looking to go out and start growing and scaling your business like a lot of our guests has been doing, I'm going to teach you how to go out and get access to capital, access to credit cards, lines of credit, loans, things of that nature, so that way you can start growing your business. Sometimes you might just need an extra 50,000. Sometimes it might be 100,000. But listen, check us out inside the community. Go ahead and click the link down below and book a call with us. And I'm going to see you guys inside the community. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode of Motion and Success. Listen, guys, my name is Cody Brown, and I got my co-host with me.
Yes, Ayo, and man, listen, man, we back with another great episode, but this time we with a familiar face.
We with a familiar face, and here's the thing, man. We're back in Atlanta, Georgia. Today's is August 2025, and the crazy thing is, we started our podcast just about 2 years ago.
Pretty much.
Crazy. In the same exact city, in the same exact time frame. It's kind of crazy to see how we've grown over the past 2 years, bro. Haven't missed a Sunday, really just giving that game, really giving that information, bringing quality guests for the past 2 years. And now we're actually back with another guest that we had on our show multiple times over the past few years. Literally one of our first episodes, but our first video that we posted on the Motion and Success page literally 2 years ago, and it's kind of crazy to see.
Too crazy.
We're back again, and we about to cook with Kaya.
It's really crazy to see the growth over these last 3 years, you know, from us, and especially, even from Darius. Darius is, bro, every time I see you, bro, it's another level up, bro.
Likewise,
you know what I'm saying?
man.
So
I look on my, we was just talking about, like, podcasts and like the thing y'all been able to do in 2 years, you said?
2 years.
Some people would take 10 years, 40,000 subs. I see, we use y'all to bring a lot of traffic. We send a lot of clients, leads, our partners to you all, and just want to say shout out to y'all for really not just sticking to it, but getting to it. There's a difference between just going through the motions and really going all in on this thing. I see y'all now helping other podcasts grow, so shout out to y'all.
Appreciate you, bro.
Sir.
Yes, sir. So listen, tell the people who you are. They're probably familiar with you, but some aren't. Go ahead, tell the people who you are, what you do, and how you help.
Absolutely. So my name is Darius Benders. I'm going to help entrepreneurs start, grow, and scale their businesses, and I really mean all three. A lot of people know me as the funding guy, the funding goat. We funded a lot of people, over $40 million in the last 3 years. We've helped over 40 people just start six-figure funding companies alone. We've helped over 84 people make 6 or 7 figures online in total. And I'm excited, man. Kind of now what we're doing is helping people. I think a lot of people get confused with the difference between the growing and the scaling part, right? So now we've been able to help a lot of people make a lot of money. And say our new nickname is Mr. 100K Day. We've helped 5 people in the last month and a half have $100,000 days, $100,000 months. So that's really what we're on right now, just loving on the people.
Yeah. I got to touch on that, Mr. 100K Day. You know, I'm seeing an Instagram post. I'm seeing your mentees get all these awards, $100,000 a day, $200,000 in a day. You know, one of your mentees who, you know, he was in a different space a couple months ago, was on our live with us. He hit $200,000 in a day. You know what I'm saying? And they're getting mentored by you. So I gotta know the formula, bro. What is it that, you know, all your mentees is getting this bag, bro?
Man, I believe that, like, you know, everyone needs mentorship, because what mentorship does is it allows you to borrow confidence and belief so you develop your own. So, you know, we talk about strategy, and strategy is cool, but really it's like getting people to shift their beliefs, like about what they think about money. Like, where we from, we ain't never heard nobody making 100. We ain't never heard nobody making 100,000 in even 6 months, right? Or a month or a day. So it's really about shifting those beliefs, which is why for the particular program they're in, it's my high ticket program. It's $30,000 program. It's for people who have built a foundation. Most of them actually came through my foundational program. You have to be making at least $20,000 a month for that particular program that you're talking about. Because what we want to do is, I'm looking to create an environment of people who are winning at a high level, because when you get environment, as we know, exposure equals expansion, right? So literally they saw somebody hit $100,000 in a day and they said, oh, no, I got to get it. Then right after them, the person after them saw them hit $200,000 a day and said, I got to get it, right? But if you're not in environments where you can see it, because as you know, you got to see it before you seize it, then you don't know these things are possible, right? Just like the first time y'all started a pod, you had to see somebody do it, and you're like, oh, they really monetizing, really doing all these things. So I believe that environment is the most important thing. And then from there, we get into strategies, which we're going to break down today, how people can really scale their business and grow their business with virtual events. Because I believe a lot of people are leaving a lot of money on the table by just relying on one-to-one selling, just relying on, you know, social media, but not really building an infrastructure, which is what you need to be able to get to a point where you can make $100,000 a day.
You know, it's kind of crazy because we had a conversation. I'm like, yo, you know, how are your mentees hitting all these $100,000 in a day?
Crazy.
Well, it's really simple. $5,000 offer, sell 20 people.
That's it.
I'm like, shit, I ain't never really think about it like that. You know what I mean? Like, only 20 people, bro.
That's it.
So now, when it comes to, you know, these virtual events, like, where, like, just break it down for me. Like, what would the roadmap look like to be able to start, you know, going from one-on-one selling to be able to make $100,000 a day through virtual events?
100%. So I always say there's like 4 pillars. First is going to be your foundation. Your foundation is your organic content, right? This is like your resume. So if I go to Cody Io's page and I know that they're teaching me how to build my podcast, I need to see some content around that. I need to be confident that they have some sort of ability to take me from where I'm at to where I want to be. A lot of people, they go missing because they get in the game and they want to go right into ads. Well, you can go into ads, but ads aren't going to save you if you don't have an organic platform that you're giving away value, right? I always say give, then ask. So one thing I'll tell you to do is, you know, if you want to go create out 30 pieces of valuable content, and specifically I say value content because you're just giving away your gift. A lot of people operate with a scarcity mindset. They're like, well, if I give it all away, why would the people buy? No, I say, because you give it all away, the people will buy. Like, it's like how we shop. If I'm talking to 2 people, or I'm looking at, you know, 2 different restaurants, one doesn't have anything that shows me anything, any reviews, any nothing, and one, they giving me free samples, they're letting me come in, I get to see the ambiance. I'm going with the one that had the free sample. That's why the Chinese spot is still in the mall, at every mall in the country, right? Subaru out of there, McDonald's out of there, but they stay around because they're giving you exactly what they're going to give you. So you can go to ChatGPT, y'all type in, give me a list of the top 20 most common questions asked when it comes to your industry. If it's funding, if it's, you know, personal branding, podcasts, whatever it may be, it's gonna literally give you what people are searching on Google every single day, what people want to know. So from there, you're the person that is able to bridge the gap from where they at to where they want to be. You might not give them the whole answer because it's content and not context, but what you do is you get them closer to the result. It's kind of like you ever been to church on Sunday, you be like, dang, I feel like the pastor talking to me. It's because they already know. They already know your ass shouldn't have been out last night. You should have been at the club. You already know that the common things are going through. Why? Because they've done it for a long period of time. right? So once you do that, what we can do is, get your iPhone. You don't need a professional shooter. Go out, bring 3 different outfits, go shoot in 3 different sceneries, and literally just have someone ask you questions, answer the question, right? In my field, it might be, how do I build my credit? Which 3 credit builder accounts I can add? Which 3 banks that give out 0% interest fund? You can fly these off, right? And get these going within the first 2 weeks. You can get them all out. All right. That's going to be your foundation. Next thing I'll tell you when it comes to content is leverage other people's good content. A lot of people were thinking too much and not doing enough, right? So I call it my Power 10 method. Go out, find the top 10 most people in your industry who are killing it, right? You can do this by searching in your industry, podcasts. Motion of Success going to come up. Maybe Brendan Boyle, whoever it is, whoever's cooking. Business Funding, I'm going to come up. Smitty's going to come up. Solo's going to come up. I'm going to go steal those people's content ideas and I'm going to recreate them with my own spin on it, right? So if I just see this post went viral, he talked about this, he did it like this. Okay, let me do that, but see if I can add more value to it, right? I always tell people there's nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as you're copying the right cat. And most people aren't copying any cat, which is why they're failing the test, right? So that's going to be your foundation, right? I always say your organic content. Next thing we go to is I teach people leverage, OPA, other people's audience, right? You don't have to start off with a big audience. Out of the 5 people who we just helped do $100,000 days, 4 of them had less than 10,000 followers. Wow. 4 of them. Only 1 of them had a big following, right? The rest of them, because guess what? Followers don't lead to dollars. I'm here to be paid, not popular, right? I don't care about likes. I'm here for PayPals and Stripes, right? A lot of people getting it confused by thinking a lot of followers are masses. It doesn't. It's about impact. So what we do is I'll teach you a few ways. What you can do when it comes to leveraging OPA is one is the most powerful way, in my opinion, 2025 is leveraging podcasts. I do podcast runs damn near every month. Why? Because I'm leveraging your platform. Y'all got 40,000 subs. I'm about to drop fire on this shit. So when it drops, there's 40,000 people who get the potential to see Darius really knows what he's talking about. He really has results. He really is giving real game that I can take and I can actually apply. So you can go hit up podcasts. And the podcasts don't have to be big podcasts because as we know, subscribers don't lead to necessarily correlation, right? So what you want to do is you want to go in there. When you go on podcasts, you want to give out your best stuff. Most people get it confused. They want to save all this stuff. Give away your best stuff. Why? Because people don't pay for information. Information's everywhere. People pay for reassurance, redirection, and confidence. So when they lock into your program or whatever, they can ask you personal questions. They can say, yo, Darius, I see what you said here. I got it, but I'm stuck right here. That one tweet can turn somebody up. Right? Because I tell people is what you do not know can literally kill you, right? It can keep you broke. So that one piece of information that, how many times you hear people say, yeah, I got it, but I just got one question for you. We hear that all the time. That one question is the difference between you getting to your dream life and you staying broke, right? So I tell people that's one play we do. We leverage podcasts. All right. After you do the podcast, what you want to do is you want to ask the podcast, can we do collab posts? You want to leverage their audience even more on short form platforms. You want to also take the podcast, you want to put it in the opusclips.io. It's going to cut up the clips for you. So now you got 30, 40 pieces that you can run behind a podcast that you came out and did nothing but get value content, right? Then we repackage method. We're going to take these clips, we're going to put them on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram. And we're going to run ads on the best performing ones that do well organically. Some of my best performing ads are from podcasts, right? Yeah. So that's how we're leveraging that. Next thing I tell you is you want to leverage OPC, other people's communities. Right? There's thousands of coaches and consultants. Coaching and consulting business is the fastest growing business in the world. So what we're going to do there is, okay, I know you teach Airbnb. I know you teach real estate. I know you teach podcasts. Guess what? All of them need funding, right? Or all of them need taxes, or all of them need to know how to grow their brand through podcasts. So it doesn't matter. This doesn't apply for funding. This applies to all businesses, right? Wherever you can go and you might teach content. Every one of these communities needs these core skills to help them grow. So what we do is we reach out to coaches. You can go on Instagram, DM some coaches. Hey, how you doing? I see that you're a coach consultant. Love the testimonials. Love how you're helping all these people getting all these roles. Want to know if I can come in and give your community free value. Offer it.
Is that okay?
Is that okay?
Yeah.
We hop on a call. I break down what I'll do, and I'll tell them, listen, at the end, if I can make an offer, what I'll do is I'll break bread with you. So now what we do is, okay, we might sell tickets to the event. We might just invite people to a free class. Ways we can do that if we're going to coaches and communities. If you're selling tickets or you're inviting people to a free class, we're going to go in, we're going to give as much value as possible. Then what we're going to do is 2 goals. You can go directly to make money. That's cool. But what I would do is I would take people to something free or a low ticket, right? And what I would do is the benefit for the coaches that their program now gets more value. Their customers now get more value. For example, if I'm doing funding and I help them get funding, now they can go buy more real estate, more Airbnbs, whatever. If I teach content, now they can put out more content, which is going to help them go out grow. If I teach them podcasts, now they can go out and have more revenue streams. So whatever it is, I'm going to add a benefit. Right, but typically what I tell you for this play is take them to a webinar. Yeah. Now what happens is you're taking people from one ecosystem where you met them to your ecosystem. But because they already had paid for a coaching program, a buyer's a buyer's a buyer. Someone who buys one time is 8 times more likely to buy again, right? So now what we do is we'll take them to a free webinar where we'll be able to give them value and to be able to sell them to our 5-day event, whatever it may be. So that's called OPP, other people's platform in terms of their communities. The third way that y'all can leverage other people's audience is, of course, Facebook ads, right? I tell people, you want to make more, spend more. Right? A lot of people are scared to spend the money, but the thing is, if you don't spend the money can't back. I think people forget that when you say I want to invest in this thing, it means I have to pour into it in order for it to grow bigger. So one thing I tell you to do is, you want to spend money on the ad creators that are performing the best. That's going to bring you the most traffic. And what we're doing is all of these plays, we're taking them to a free class. Yeah. The reason we're taking them to a free class is because I want to be able to talk to these people. People talk about lead magnets, giving away stuff for free. There's nothing better than a free masterclass. Why? Yep. I get to know that you're a real person. I get to get familiar with you. I get to build like, trust. I get to get some value. And then you get to sell people. Right? Like, you ever bought an ebook and it was free or cheap? You ain't do nothing with it, right? But if you spend time with one of us, we get to talk to you. Then we get to sell you on why you need to take advantage of the offer. You're a lot more likely to. All right? So that's the second part we call leverage your OPA. Right. All right. Third thing we get into, am I good? Yeah, you're good. You want me to give them the play on the webinars?
Let's do it, man.
You sure?
Let's do it.
All right, if y'all watching this, make sure y'all tap this. So what I tell people is, what we do is we scale with virtual events. And the reason why is because there's no business model more powerful for selling any product, any service than virtual events. I don't care if you sell coaching, courses, a digital product, low ticket, high ticket, even a physical product, right? Because it's getting one to many. The benefits of one to many is we get to leverage you, right? We get to leverage them getting to know that you're an actual person. So first thing I tell you is, most people make mistakes is when they do these presentations, they go in, how you doing? Let's get into the lesson. It's like, you got to get to love on the people. So what we'll do is we'll warm up the room. Where y'all from? What are the reasons you're here? What are you looking to get out of today's class? And then what I like to get into, if you're in the money niche, is how much money are you looking to make with this thing, right? Because a lot of people don't know what they actually are looking to get out of it. They're just like, I've seen the ad. How much money? Because when you let me know how much money you're looking to make, now I get to know where you're at. 10,000, 20,000 a month, 50,000 a month. Okay, good. What is it going to take for you to get to that place? Somebody let me know. I let the people do it. They'll let me know what do you need? I need more information. I need a coach. I need a consultant. So now they're telling me all these barriers, these things that are holding them back. And for them, I just love on them. I let them know, yes, you do need these things, right? So that's the first step, setting the stage. Second thing is, I call it the transparency play. A lot of people out here, we're finessing people into sales. I don't do that. The best way to love on the people is to be transparent. So from the beginning, I'm letting them know, listen, over the next 45 minutes to an hour, I'm about to give you a whole lot of game, right? Somebody put game in the chat. But I want to be clear. At the end, I will have an opportunity for you all who want to take advantage of an opportunity. And the reality is, you're here because you're looking for what I have to offer. You came to this funding class because you need funding. You came to this podcast class because you want to know how, right? I'm just letting you know. Are we clear? Now, when I do this, it breaks the barrier from the audience and thinking, oh, just another course seller, just another scammer. I've already told you what it is, right? Now what I tell you is, for the next 45 minutes, I don't want you to worry about any of that, right? I don't need you to think about none of that. All I need you to do is take notes, because note takers are money makers. All right, so that's how I'm starting it off from there. Next thing I get into is the value part. I feel like a lot of people, we're over teaching. Hear me out. I always say love on the people, and if you over deliver, you'll be overpaid. But there is a such thing as over teaching tactics. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll go in there, they're giving away all the sauce. But you got to remember, when you're looking to help someone make a transformation, you have to shift their minds, right? Yeah. The way you ethically sell is by providing evidence behind what your point is. So if I'm selling why you need business funding, I don't need to just go give all these banks all these plays. That's not what moves the people. The people, they done seen all the information. You have to provide evidence. So I tell people, you want to have 3 to 4 points of evidence behind every secret in your webinar. Secret number 1, personal funding. Secret number 2, business structure. Secret number 3, personal credit cards. That's cool. Yes, I'm telling the people and I'm giving them some game, but one of the ways you want to provide evidence is by having statistics. The statistics are 82% of people fail within the first 5 years. And the number one reason is they don't get access to funding. The statistics show 95% of denials are because of personal credit. So you can worry about all the quill, that grain of shit you want, but the reality is this is why you're getting denied. When I break these things, a person goes, oh shoot, that's what I need to focus on. So it doesn't matter what I'm selling or what I'm showing them, it's based on evidence. Next wave of evidence is third-party proof. If I told you Elon Musk, Wells Fargo, Louis Vuitton, all of these brands that you look up to and you aspire to be like, they all started with business credit. Now it's like, okay, you shifted my mind by showing me what it is and what it isn't. The third way that I tell you, you want to provide evidence is testimonials. It could be your testimonial, a student testimonial, whatever it may be. And then the last way I tell you is metaphors, stories, and analogies. Because if you can paint pictures to people, they can get to see it, right? So, for example, if I'm if I'm telling people that the average person only makes $40,000 a year, and if you make $40,000, you can't possibly save $100,000 because that's more than you made. But if I told you that with my 3-step process, I just helped a girl go get $100,000 in a week, now you can see some things that you cannot see because now that makes it real, right? So having analogies and stories that correlate to what you're teaching, that's how you want to provide evidence. That's how you want to provide evidence. And if every secret you have that you're teaching in your webinar, you have at least 3 of these, you're going to convert higher, right? Then the last step I tell you is possible to probable method, right? That's where we're teaching one thing per secret. So if I'm talking about personal credit, now I'm going to walk them through a play. And now they understand that this is real. The next thing I do is between each secret, I say, let me know 1 through 10, how confident are you in your ability to understand what we just went over? Because now the people can let me know if they picked up the capacity, if they were paying attention. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Just like that.
That's called a call to response. So another thing you need to do is you need to have 50 to 100 micro commitments in your webinar, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if this makes sense. Drop I'm ready if you know you're ready to take action. Drop it's my season if you know that these next 6 months would be your best 6 months. Because what happens is you treat it just like a virtual event. So if you just up there talking and teaching all the time, you're going to see people fall asleep. They're locked in. Exactly. So I need to keep your attention, micro commitments. And the easier it is, the more micro commitments I get throughout that hour, the more yeses I get at the end when I make the offer. What you think gonna happen?
You're going to sign up.
It's a lot more yeses. Exactly. The next part of a webinar we call it the transition. This is where most people struggle. They're like, it's time to sell. Who want to buy my stuff? Nah, that ain't how it go, right? So some of the things, I'll give your audience a gem. One of the things we do is at the end of the secrets, what I do is I ask the people, I said, was today valuable? Okay, I say, how much do you think today's free class was worth? Right? If you could learn how to, even if you paid $5,000 to learn how to get $100,000, would that be a value? And we just reiterate what we went over. Then I say, based on what you learned today, how many of you know that this is just the start or the beginning of your next life? Let me know in the chat. How many of you know that if you had the ability to learn this thing 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you'd be in a different place? How many of you all, when you saw this ad, you just said, I can't wait to build my personal brand leverage YouTube. I can't wait to get 150K. Funny. Okay, good. A lot of people are like, yeah, well, I saw that. Okay, good. This is why I created an opportunity that's going to help you bridge the gap from where you're at to where you want to be. So when I say that, now the transition, the people who already told me I want what you have to sell, right? So now all we have to do is break down limiting beliefs and overcome objections. This is where we're going to what we call a sales pitch next. The sales pitch, most people are going wrong is because they're selling things. They're like 50 hours of course modules, 20 hours of coaching. I don't want that. I'll run. And I don't want to watch 50 hours of nothing. People got whole lives. They got kids. They got family. They don't want to watch. You're selling the wrong thing. What you need to sell is outcomes. You need to sell benefits of benefits. I'm gonna give you my 6-figure funding blueprint so you can buy back your time, get access to money faster, so you can build the life that you want. That's what people want. People want to envision what life will look like after they go through your method. I'm going to give you my content strategy that's going to alleviate you guessing, you having to run in hula hoops, you not getting any engagement so that you can attract more leads. You see the difference between that and selling time? Yeah. So once you do that, you pitch your offer like that, that's going to help convert because now people's like, damn, that's what I want, right? Then the last part I go into is closing, all right? So most people, one, they're not closing and pitching long enough. Right, they've been confident all through the webinar. Then they get to the close part, they're like, all right, who want to buy my stuff? Nobody, all right, y'all have a good night. You done did all that work all week to get people in the room. You done did all this great part, and then you scared. So no, you need to be confident with your closing and pitching. The framework I give y'all is this. When you're closing, you want to remember at least these 4 objections because these are 4 main objections that 95% of the people in the room have. Time, fear, environment, and most importantly, money. And if you break down all of these objections, then you'll convert more because you have to get people to see that if they don't change these things, then their life is probably going to be the same. Because the reality is, it is. When people come to a class, they already know that they need that thing. So if they leave and they go back to doing what they were doing, the chances of them getting a different result are slim to none. So I need to break down. A person's in the chat, they think, man, I don't know if I can afford it or I want to afford it. I say, oh no, the reality is it's going to cost you much more in life not to take advantage of this opportunity. Because if you got bad credit or you're not getting funding, and you know that you say you want to get to your dream life, but you need funding, then what is it costing you every single month that you don't have funding? Right? So when I paint that picture to them, then I can say, damn, he's right. Let me not worry about what it costs because it's going to cost me more every single day of my life that I continue not filling this gap, right? Because as we know, the biggest expense in life is what we don't know, right? What you don't. If you say people be like, I want to make $1 million. If you make $100,000 a year, it's costing you $900,000 every single year for the gap of the information that you don't know. Right, so that might be money. Then I might go into time, people, and I'll call them out. I say, some of y'all in here, you haven't taken advantage of the opportunity yet because you're thinking, do I have time? Well, let me tell you something. The reason you don't have time is because you're relying just on the job. So what's the chances in 6 months as you're at that same job? What's the chances of it giving you your time back? You're not going to get your time back unless you learn how to make more money, unless you learn a high valuable skill. So you're thinking about time, but the most precious thing we have is time. You need to hurry up and make enough money to be able to buy back your time so you can spend more time with your kids, so you can do the things that you want, right? So I just break these things down, and these are overcoming all the objections that people have. And what it does is it allows people to also make the buying decision. Because we get off webinars too quick because we like, all right, nobody buy. We got to realize, you're asking somebody to take out their card, punch in 14 digits, punch in the CCS code. They got to talk to their significant other. They driving their car. They on the highway. People's not pitching long enough. So the number one thing you need to do is you need to get in your bag and you need to get your stories together, right? You need to have analogies, metaphors, punchlines. All right, and then what you need to have, one thing that working really well for us is having live student testimonials. If I just help somebody get $50,000 in front of him, and let's say she's a single mom, I know I got single moms in my room. So that's to say, listen, this is such and such, such and such. She came to me about 6 months ago. She ain't had no funny, she got bad credit. Listen, it's her kids. She taking all 4 of her kids. She running her business. Her business is successful now. Such and such. You come up on the stage, I'll bring her up live on the screen. Tell the people, where were you at before we met and after you met? And this are 4 questions that y'all can implement when you ask live testimonials. Where were you at before you met me, and how'd you meet me? That's one question. Second question is going to be, what has your transition been like since you met me? What have the results been like? The third question is going to be, what would you tell somebody who's on the fence about getting to that next level? Right? That's your program. All right. What would you tell a person who's on the fence about joining such and such? That's your program. And the last thing I'd tell you is, do you wish you would have took advantage sooner? And when you ask these questions, what you do is you overcome all of the objections that the people are asking. So now the single moms in the audience, maybe the single dads, maybe the people who can relate, they say, damn, she did it, I can do it. So now it overcomes and breaks down those barriers. All we're doing is we want to break barriers. I might bring a couple up next, Ty and Keisha. Maybe they just did $100,000 in a day. What was it like when y'all met? How many of y'all, when you want to get business, you want to get money with your loved one, with your boo thing, with your wife, with your husband? Now they get to see that testimonial. Now it breaks down all those limiting beliefs. So all we're doing is getting people out of their own heads, because the same level of thinking that got you in the situation cannot be the same level of thinking that gets you out of a situation. Right? So that's really our webinar framework. And I got more plays. Like we go 48-hour play, like on the back, and you got them people at the end of the webinar, they sitting there, they're like, man, I want to. So what we do is, if you do a webinar on a weekday, people get paid on Friday. So now what I do is, okay, how many of you all, you know that you just need 1 or 2 days and you're ready to lock in? You're serious and not just curious, but you just need time to go get the investment. If I gave you all another day or two, how many of you all would be ready? Put me in the chat. Now what happens is people say me, they want to lock in. I'm very clear though. This is not if you're thinking about it. If you know that you just need time to go get the investment to lock in, this is for you. Put me. I have the team drop a link, book calls. We get an extra 5, 10, 15 calls. Now that's more money in the pipeline, more opportunities for you to love on the people and help the people.
Wow, now that's game.
Yeah, that's
like
7-figure framework right there.
That game right there, that's like worth.
We might not even release this, actually. I ain't gonna lie.
Somebody gonna watch this and replay
crazy,
this
right?
like 100 times, bro. But one thing that really stood out was when you said, the followers don't equal to the dollars, because a lot of times it's like you see a lot of celebrities and they got millions of followers, but they don't have any framework. They don't know how to monetize their audience. And it's crazy to see, like, yo, the entrepreneurs, y'all really mastered this.
Absolutely.
Like, was there ever a point where you was on webinars by yourself, like,
Hell yeah, bro.
And you wanted to give up?
I didn't make $1 until my 5th webinar. I did 4. First one, 2 people. Second one, no people. Shut the laptop down. Third one, I had like 15 people in there. And then the 4th one, I had like 36 people I was in. But at the end, I got nervous with the pitch and close. But like I say, everything gets bigger when you get better. Yeah. And the greatest thing about webinars is it forces you to be a better entrepreneur. So when you do it every week, like people look at me now, they're like, yo, you speak so well. And I'll be laughing because little do they know, I sucked at speaking, bro. I couldn't speak for nothing. I was stutter. Right, right, but you get better because you're doing it every single week. I tell somebody you want to make $1 million, you need to do a webinar every single week, 52 weeks of the year. You're gonna get good at marketing because you have to. You're gonna get good at pitching and selling because you have to. You're gonna get good at understanding people's objections and the questions they have because you have to every single week. You want to be everyone watching this, everyone that you look up to, your favorite coach, your favorite consultant. They do webinars. They do some sort of virtual events. Why? Success leaves clues. Copy the blueprint is what I tell people. Don't be out here trying to figure it out on your own because that's just a slow path.
That's crazy. Now this was a lot of game, bro. Like a lot of game. And, you know, I can see why. You know, you're constantly winning, bro. You know what I mean? So at this level that you're at right now, like, where do you really see yourself, like, you know, taking it? Like, you know, I see you're in the coaching space. We attended one of your masterminds, and I told Cody to, like, just even last week, I'm like, yo, that mastermind was crazy. Like the amount of value people are getting in that little inner circle is crazy, and they all eating.
Nah, of course, everybody eats. That's the thing about the inner circle. Everybody eat, and it's about like what you said. Like I know we talked. You was like, yo, that was inspiring, and that's what we're looking to create. Because, you know, once you see it, you can seize it. If you see somebody and you're like, I know if they could do it, I could do it.
I be like that all the time.
All the time, right? And I know that's just us as a people. I ain't gonna lie, that's black people in general. People like, if bro did it, I know I could go crazy, right? That's how we operate. But that's what I'm looking to create. So that's why we're very intentional about who gets in the inner circle and who doesn't. If I wanted to just make money with it, I could go run a fat bag. But literally, it'll water the product down, right? I want it to be people who are like, yo, I'm looking to do this. I'm looking to get to this next level. What do I need to do? What do I have to do to be coachable? A lot of people want coaching, but they're not coachable. People think you just go pay a coach and it's just magic. You know, you have to be coachable. You have to do the work. And I always say, you know, the work always works. First, it works on you. Things aren't working your way. Money's not coming in yet. Then what happens if you operate in enough faith for long enough, then it starts to work for you. I could have quit after those 4 webinars, 5 webinars. Got to keep going, 6 months. In the business, we have something called quantum leaps. Right? And a lot of people don't understand what quantum leaps are. Is fat gaps. I was 29 years old. I was living at my mom's house. I was dead broke. And then I went to making $30,000 a month within 3 months. Right? Because what happened was I had to learn something that could get me to that next level. I had to get out of my comfort zone and move to Atlanta. Then, you know, got to a place where we're doing consistent 50, 60,000, got stuck. What had to happen? I had to spend more money, get more coaching. That one thing took me to $100,000 a month. Now we do anywhere from $250,000, $350,000 a month. But guess what? There's parts of my business now is breaking the business. Who do I have to pay to get to where I need to get to faster? So I always tell people, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay life. You're gonna pay life every day for the gap, or you're going to pay someone who can get you to faster. And the reality is, that's more expensive. Life is much more expensive than paying the price to get to where you want to get to faster.
Yeah, that's a fact. What's even crazy is that we were speaking to, you know, one of like our homies and things like that. He was like, yo, he's stuck on $20K, but he was like, I don't see myself ever paying $30,000 for mentorship. Yeah. But then he's like, yo, he wants to get to that 6 figures a month.
Yeah.
But then it's like, he knows, like, yo, got to make the investment. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
it's like, think about it.
I'm like,
that's him. Because think about it. You want to become the type of person that can make $100,000 a month. That's $1.2 million a year. You're telling me, right? Watch this. You're like, God, I want to get to I want to be the top 1% nigga in the world and make $1 million, but I don't want to spend no money. I don't want to pour into me so I can grow into what I want to grow to. Yeah. God probably looking at you like, bro, what are you talking about? You wouldn't spend 30 to make 1.2. And I think the problem is, it's like we've been programmed to think, but like, bro, I wish somebody had told me about, you know, investing in myself in mentorship years ago. Y'all probably wouldn't even know me. I'd probably be somewhere cooler. But I always say things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Yep. So, you know, I don't think that, I don't have any regrets in life, right? Everything happened when it's supposed to happen. If God had said, when I was 22 years old, take all this bread, I would have probably blew it. Yeah. And I used to be like, yo, I worked so hard. Like, why am I going through this? Now looking back, I wasn't the person yet. He had to put some work on me. You know what I'm saying? I had to overcome some things. I had to be a better me. Because when you are making a lot of money only amplifies who you are. If you ever seen a shitty person make a lot of money, they become more shitty. Right? Yeah. You see a good person make a lot of money, they have more impact, more positivity in the world. So I believe that if you believe you're a good person, your job, you have an obligation to go out and make more money, because we need more people who are good, who are going to love on people and help people, right? That's what it's about. So I tell everybody, man, invest into yourself because if you don't, you always work for someone who did invest in themselves. Yeah.
And last question, because I know we got to wrap up. Why would you recommend somebody doing like a 5-day challenge compared to, you know, coaching them for like a longer period of time?
So, I mean, I think the better question is, when would I recommend some doing a 5-day challenge? I would tell that person, once you have a foundation and do webinars. So I would say you should be doing webinars for at least minimum, really 6 months straight, every single week. If you want to get really good, twice a week. I've been doing webinars 3 years, twice a week, 52 weeks a year. That's 312 webinars. Speaking in communities. And the reason why is because you want to get so good at talking about the thing that you do. The definition of mastery is to be able to speak or do something subconsciously without thought, right? And when we think of dominating your industry, that's how you dominate, right? Visibility beats ability. So it's not the person who's necessarily even the best at what they do, but it's the person who's in front of the most people and who loves on the people. I was just at InvestFest. Every 2 minutes, I'm like, yo, bro, I just want to say thank you. I want to do this. I don't even know I don't know most of these people, but the online craze has created an environment where you can really just have Wi-Fi and really love on people and help people. Some people, they're not in my program. They was like, I came to your free class. I got 20,000, 10,000. That's dope. Yeah. So when they're looking to spend money, who they gonna look to? The person who helped on them. And that's what we don't think. I say amateurs make money on the front end, experts make money on the back end. So you can't think just money, money, money. You gotta think, no, am I really loving on the people? Because if you over deliver, you'll be overpaid.
All right, bro.
This is a lot of game, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, make sure y'all follow your boy at Darius Benders on all platforms. I got a free class giving y'all some game. Show y'all how I want to say shout out to my guys, Cody, Io, Motion and Success, going absolutely crazy. We look forward to this being another banger, man. And y'all keep being great, keep loving on the people, and keep getting to that next level.
Yeah, I'm kind of speechless, bro. I ain't got much to say, bro.
That just came through, just flamed up the whole pod, and you feel me? That's why I didn't really want to, interrupt, bro, when he was speaking, because it's like this is game like that could really change your situation, really get you to the bag, no matter where you at right now. If you're an entrepreneur and you ain't making money online in a digital space, this was literally all you really needed to hear, bro. So if you want to learn more, definitely tap in with Darius. This is like about our third time having him on, and it's always gems, always elevating, always growing. So it's always great to have you, bro.
I appreciate y'all, man. Like,
sure. Absolutely. So listen, y'all, like, comment, share, subscribe, share it with a friend, and listen, we're gonna see you guys on the inside. Peace.